Your heart drops the second you see their name pop up on your screen. To the boss and to the rest of the office, this coworker is the sweetest, hardest working person in the building. But to you, they are a constant, exhausting mind game. You spend your entire commute home trying to decode their emails, wondering if you are just overreacting to their helpful little comments, or if they are actually trying to sabotage you behind the scenes. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And you're not crazy. In this video, I'm going to explain exactly why this happens and reveal the covert narcissist coworker signs you need to look out for. What you are experiencing right now isn't just a tough day at the office. It is not just a personality clash. And it is definitely not a standard communication issue. This is called covert workplace narcissism. When we hear the word narcissist, most of us picture the loud, grandiose type. We think of the arrogant boss who yells, demands constant attention, and takes credit openly. But the covert narcissist operates completely in the shadows. They crave the exact same superiority, admiration, and control as the loud types, but they use a carefully crafted mask of vulnerability, martyrdom, or excessive niceness to get it. They manipulate their environment subtly, leaving no obvious fingerprints behind. This dynamic creates something called cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the mental discomfort you feel when your brain holds two conflicting realities at the very same time. Your eyes are seeing a person who smiles and speaks softly, but your nervous system is picking up on a serious threat. Your intuition knows you are being sabotaged. But because there is no concrete aggressive proof, your brain tries to make sense of the anxiety by blaming yourself. You assume that you must be the toxic one, or that you are just imagining things. Understanding this is the first step to getting your clarity back. Once you can clearly identify these hidden tactics, the illusion breaks. You can stop taking their behavior personally, stop internalizing their hidden hostility, and start protecting your professional reputation. Let's look at 5 specific covert narcissist coworker signs. Weaponized incompetence. We will start with weaponized incompetence. This is when someone conveniently and repeatedly fails at tasks they simply do not want to do, forcing you to step in and pick up the slack. The psychological mechanism here is rooted in their deep sense of entitlement and their very fragile ego. Covert narcissists quietly believe they are above mundane, tedious, or unglamorous work. However, they cannot outright refuse to do these tasks without damaging their carefully built, nice team player image. So, they do the job poorly on purpose. By constantly messing up the details, asking a million basic questions, or forgetting how the software works, they train you to stop asking them for help. They protect their ego and their energy, while simultaneously draining yours. And the best part for them? They make themselves look like a helpless victim of circumstance. Imagine a scenario where a shared quarterly report is due. Your coworker is responsible for gathering the raw data, and you are supposed to analyze it. They wait until the absolute last minute and then hand over a spreadsheet that is entirely misformatted, full of errors, and missing half the numbers. When you bring it up, they sigh heavily, look incredibly stressed, and say, "I am so sorry. I'm just so bad with technology. My brain just doesn't work like yours does." They play the victim so well that you actually end up feeling guilty for being annoyed with them. You end up redoing their entire portion of the work so the whole team doesn't fail. They get the credit for participating in a finished project, and you get the burnout. Now let's look at the next one. The plausible deniability dig. A plausible deniability dig is an insult, criticism, or put-down carefully disguised as a joke, a compliment, or helpful advice. Why do they do this? Covert narcissists desperately need to establish superiority over you, but they're absolutely terrified of public exposure or direct confrontation. by delivering their insults wrapped in a layer of plausible deniability, meaning they can easily deny any bad intentions. They can attack your self-esteem while flawlessly maintaining their innocent image. They are throwing stones and hiding their hands. If you react naturally by getting upset or defensive, they immediately turn it around on you, claiming you are the one with the problem. Picture a scenario where you are in a team meeting, presenting a new idea you worked hard on. You finish speaking, and your coworker smiles warmly and says in front of the boss, "Wow, it is so incredibly brave of you to present those numbers without double-checking the latest market data first. I could never do that." The room goes quiet. They have just publicly called you careless and unprepared, but they phrased it as awe and admiration. If you get upset and call them out, they will immediately backpedal, widen their eyes, and say, "Whoa, I was just making a joke. Why are you so defensive? I was giving you a compliment." You are left looking overly sensitive and hostile, while they look like the calm, reasonable victim of your outburst. This connects directly to our third point, strategic information hoarding. Information hoarding is the act of purposefully withholding crucial emails, deadline changes, context, or resources that you desperately need to do your job effectively. The mechanism behind this is all about control. For a covert narcissist, information is absolute power. By controlling what you know and when you know it, they create a forced dependency. They intentionally set you up to stumble, which automatically makes them look highly competent, reliable, and in the know by comparison. It is a zero-sum game for them. The only way they can feel like they are winning is if they ensure that you are losing. Here is a very common scenario. Management makes a sudden change to a major project that you and this coworker share. Your coworker has a private chat with the boss and learns all the new requirements. They do not pass this information along to you. You spend 3 days working tirelessly based on the old instructions. When you finally submit your work, it is completely wrong. You look out of the loop and incompetent in front of management. Meanwhile, your coworker shakes their head sympathetically and says to the boss, "I'm not sure what happened. I thought they knew. I'll step in and help them fix it." They have actively sabotaged your performance simply by remaining silent, and then swooped in to play the hero. Now let's look at the next one, which starts to involve other people. The martyrdom smear campaign. A martyrdom smear campaign is when the covert narcissist subtly complains to others about how incredibly hard they work and how difficult, lazy, or demanding you are, painting themselves as the ultimate victim of your professional shortcomings. This mechanism is about proactively controlling the narrative before you ever have a chance to speak up. Covert narcissists feed on sympathy and validation. In psychology, we call this narcissistic supply. By playing the exhausted martyr, they secure endless sympathy from the office while simultaneously isolating you. If they can convince everyone else that you are the problem, then no one will believe you if you ever try to report their toxic behavior. They are ruining your reputation before you even realize you are in a fight. In a real scenario, you might politely ask this coworker to finish their half of a client presentation that is already 2 days late. Instead of just doing the work, they sigh deeply, stay at the office an hour late to make sure the boss sees them, and then spend the entire next day in the break room telling everyone how exhausted they are. They whisper to your colleagues, "I was up all night because I basically had to carry the whole project again. It's fine. I'm used to doing the heavy lifting around here." Suddenly, other colleagues are giving you cold, judgmental looks, and you have absolutely no idea why. They have assassinated your character behind your back, all while wearing the mask of a dedicated, overworked saint. This connects directly to the final and most damaging sign on this list: the concerned colleague sabotage. The concerned colleague sabotage occurs when the narcissist frames their intentional career sabotage as deep, caring concern for your personal well-being and mental health. This is the ultimate mind bender and the most unexpected tactic. The psychological mechanism here is absolute camouflage. They use a weaponized version of fake empathy to undermine your professional reputation with the highest levels of management. Because their malice is dressed up as genuine care, no one questions their motives. It provides perfect, impenetrable cover for their desire to see you fail or be passed over for opportunities. Imagine you are up for a major promotion. You have worked incredibly hard for it, and you are the obvious choice. Your covert narcissist coworker goes into your manager's office, closes the door, and says in a hushed, worried tone, "I'm really worried about them lately. They just seem so overwhelmed and stressed out. I've noticed they've been looking really tired and making little mistakes. I think giving them this big promotion right now might push them over the edge.
I just care about their mental health too much to see them crash. They have just stolen your hard-earned opportunity, planted seeds of doubt about your stability in the boss's mind, and somehow managed to make everyone think they are an absolute angel for caring so deeply about you." To summarize, these 5 covert narcissist coworker signs: weaponized incompetence, plausible deniability digs, information hoarding, the Martyr smear campaign, and fake concern, are all designed to keep you confused and keep them in control. The fact that you're here trying to understand this already says something important about you. It means that you have a strong intuition. It means that despite all the gaslighting, all the subtle digs, and all the exhaustion, a deep part of you knows the truth. Your reality is valid. You are not making this up. You are not overreacting. And most importantly, you are not the problem. Some people find that starting a private documentation log is the best first step. Keep a hidden document where you write down simple, factual records of dates, times, and actions. Don't write down your emotions, just write down what was said, what was withheld, and who was in the room. When the gaslighting starts and they try to tell you, "That never happened," you can look back at your log. It serves as an anchor to your own reality and a shield for your career. Which of these have you experienced? Drop a number in the comments. I read every single one.